Hi there, Internet people. This is Chris Kutzer, founder of Cary Spotlight, a hyperlocal email newsletter here in Cary, North Carolina. And today we are continuing our journey towards our anniversary edition, which will be on October 24, 2024. Yeah, exactly, 24. 27 days from now. So this episode, we will be covering the publication during week 26 and what lessons we learned there and what we can bring back into the future of Cary Spotlight. So let's get right to it. Here we go. We start our week on editorial week on a Tuesday, and we're dealing with middle schooler prevents kidnapping. That's a crime story. The Courage 100th win. That's a local sports story. And then talking about somebody winning a scholarship. So three-part headline. That's very easy for people to digest. And we have our table of contents so people can follow along on what's going on. We do a shout out again for home services people that we can spotlight. So using our network to leverage our outreach. And here we go with a crime story that foiled a kidnapping. And then Courage have their 100th league win, so that's a big deal for us. And also dealing with the opioid crisis. Wake County allocates that kind of money towards the opioid epidemic. So again, this is a story that people are following closely. And then we have our weekly standard access to the Cary Police Department crime data. So there you go. And a long list of events that go all the way till following Monday so people can plan their week. And we end with the answer to the trivia question. Now, Wednesdays is wellness, so health and wellness. So here we will talk about health and wellness stories. So let's see what we got here. Premature graying. Okay, that's would be of interest to a lot of people in our readership. Resources for popular pickleball courts. Again, that'll be something that's interesting. Guarding against melanoma in the summer. So skin cancer, something to look out for. And then related to skin cancer is dermatology, grand opening of a dermatology clinic. And with our ongoing series by the cinema therapist looking over dating in twilight. So we have it all covered right there. So let's see, health and wellness, talking about skin melanoma, pickleball coach in Cary. We also have a feedback from our readers and whether or not they play the sport. Here we did a spotlight on the grand opening, letting people know about that, and there were some free goodies that they could get, so made people aware of that. And cinema therapy deals with emotional issues. People can definitely help or even get access to online chat for talk to a licensed therapist. So again, they're just opening the dialogue and conversation. And we have upcoming local events. So that's that edition. And Wednesday, Thursday, Earth Day activities, Kids Magic, Day of Magic. So we are hinting at something there, and star-studded soccer tournament that's coming. So again, local event that puts Cary on the map. And we also have a book recon that's coming and the 2 sports stories. Again, we're putting in here the home services reader poll, something that I definitely said I would bring back. And community celebrating Earth Day. Earth Day is every year, so that will definitely be a story that we can, the format that we can use again in the following year. And there's the young lady that we spotlighted earlier, the young author. So she's going to be at one of the events for book signing for Children's Day, Arts and Crafts. So that's good. And then we have a book people can go check out. We also had um, how people, I guess, different things people are interested in: books, cats, running, fishing. We didn't do much with that, but we can definitely bring that one back too. Maybe make that list a little bit longer. Um, and here we talked about the upcoming tournament that draws a lot of celebrity athletes with $1 million prize that's actually here in Cary. And so that's coming up. And then we have our streaming sports for the week, so people have that. And then our usual event calendar. And this one, let me see the date. This is April 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so still doing the three-part headline. The trend of home gardening in America. So again, there's a lot of people that are interested in gardening. So we have a gardening story. Then we have digital vigilante. Again, this is a crime watch, a crime story, so people are aware of that. And blood tests for sports. So that's good. We also have Cary Market. So this is kind of an event that we bring forward. And then talking about the Stanley Cup, since the Hurricanes is a local ice hockey franchise that is, a lot of people are following. So there you go. Interested in gardening again? That's the question that came up. Makes sense. Uh, I think I'll put that in tomorrow's edition. That's definitely something I would bring back. The generation question, and then the sports question, and our events. We pull out an event and we highlight that so people kind of get a little bit more information about the event. So we have that. And then we got some flowers recently, so we share that with the people about what they enjoyed about the information. And this was from issue 155, so that's good to know. We always look at the comments as well, good and bad or indifferent. We look at those. And here we go. We have uh, yes, so this is something funny because we kept asking people to answer the generation question, and people were upset because some of the labeling of the generations it wasn't really clear. So we actually address that issue right here, so people know, hey, we are reading your feedback. We are. Some people were pretty nasty about the generation question, like how could you be so confused? So we actually wrote a story about that. Copperheads, there's snakes in the area that people need to be aware of. So what you should know. And then we had some high gas prices at the time. So again, that's a consumer related issue. So definitely talk about that, and a sports story. So here you go. So wow. So we had a quote about that right there, and we did the whole story. So now in the future, when we do post the generation question, we link to this post so people can say, hey, we already answered this question. Go check it out here. And this is a snake from one of our various community Facebook groups that I'm a part of. And the picture came up there. So we shared it so people know. Some folks are new to the area. They don't know what that is. So we explained to them that and can you find the snake? So this is definitely kind of a story that we could republish and reissue again, same time in the year, because there might be new people moving in and not be aware of what's going on with snakes. And there's a picture of me with the courage back in the day. So he's a big fan, supporter. So I'm not the owner or co-owner of the team as this picture might imply, but hey, One can always dream. So there you go. And then we started putting in the recap of videos of the courage as well as the schedule and the stats and standings so people can do follow along with that. And then the events as usual. And then repeated the shout out. That's great. Now we get to the travel and discovery edition. Again, following the format of letting people know about travel around the world, flights out of RDU or different airlines that are working through us. And we have a business article in here, which is very interesting. And then keep going on with our ongoing series of cruise ship or cruise tours, and then a yummy, tasty recipe. So people always look forward to that. So yeah, so that was kind of interesting. We trying to help boost business, so we would put this kind of story in it. Not quite sure if the traction was there for that. Again, majority of our readers are not business owners, so this kind of story was not as well received. So we stopped running those kinds of stories in that particular length. Maybe shorter versions might work in the future. The cruise ships is always pretty good. People like that. And we got the crock pot ribs. Yep, definitely a keeper. Definitely something that people might want to try that. So let me write this one down. Yeah, taste the recipe from this one. We'll, we'll do a rerun on that because that looks pretty good. Not everybody eats meat, but for those who like it, we put that whole recipe right there so they can't miss. Very tempting recipe. And then we ended up with the real estate edition, which is at the end of our editorial week. And here we, as always, we review the properties that were sold. We have a realtor spotlight in here and some best practices now with the NRA settlement. So people are still looking for information on that. So we have our listings there. We have a realtor that we are spotlighting so people can know some expert in the area that they can consult with. And then we have the full story on what practices has been affected by the new agreement over there. So very curious about that. And then again, we end up with our trivia answer of the week. And that's it. That's